TXHGB.com's Talk to a Coach Friday. And with that comes in another coach. Let's start going to Coastal Bend, where we're talking to the one and only Kaitlyn Lauding, the fearless leader of the Sinton Later Pirates. And coach, how are things in beautiful Sinton, Texas?
Oh, they're great. Weather's good. Can't complain too much.
Absolutely, I love that. I love that portion of the state down there for sure. Whenever I go on vacation, sometimes as well. So, Coach,
Oh
it
yeah.
was it was a pretty good season for y'all this past year. First off, your thoughts on how the Sinton Lady Pirates fared this past season.
Oh, I thought we had an incredible season. We went 22-11 overall, district runner-up, and made a little run in the playoffs. I think our kids learned how to compete hard against some tough teams, but then we turned the corner and learned how to win against those tough teams too. And I thought that was really key to the kids' growth and then the growth of our program. So I couldn't be more proud of them.
Absolutely, and of course, correct me if I'm wrong. This is your about to be your second year in Sinton.
Yes, yes. So last year was my first year in Sinton
Mm-hmm.
and my first year as a head coach. So looking forward to another year there with them.
Absolutely, and of course, going into this past season, of course, for y'all, how did the program look prior to your arrival coming in?
So we've got a lot of great kids in our athletic program, a lot of strong athletes, um, and they were consistent competitors. I think in the previous seasons, I believe the year before I got there, they were just one spot short of making the playoffs. So they had the talent. I think it was just a matter of kind of learning to get over that hump.
Hmm. Absolutely, and of course, of course, there have been. You mentioned it was a pretty incredible year for y'all guys. Of course, when you first kind of stepped back last year and thoughts, I think this program has a chance to be good. Kind of talk about what point of the season where you thought that this could be a really good season for us.
Well, if I'm being honest,
Hmm.
I knew before the season that we could be good. The girls were already involved in a summer league after I got hired last summer, and so I went and watched them. And just watching how they played together, they pressed well in summer league, which if I'm being honest, kids don't like to play a whole lot of defense most of the time, but these girls did. They pressed well. They like to score off of turnovers. They pushed the ball well. They played together well. And so that was something that really excited me, just watching them in the summer league, something that I had absolutely nothing to do with. I was just sitting and watching them. Um, but I loved that they love to play defense because that's what I love about the game too. And so I kind of took that and ran with it with them and just saw what I knew that they already could do and just continued to build off of it. And then we had some good, challenging, I think, preseason. We lost some really close games, and I think we should have won. We learned some good lessons, and then once district hit, um, I think we matched up with Beeville right off the bat, and they had a big power post and coached really well. Um, but when I saw our girls match up with them defensively and just really work their tail off, and and we came up short, we didn't get the win, but I
Hmm.
saw the amount of work that they were willing to put in and the heart that they had. I knew we had something special in front of us the rest of the season.
Absolutely, and then of course every coach has a lesson whenever it comes to the coaching with the kids or on the administrative side of things. For you, what have you learned so far in your short tenure at Sinton?
I mean, obviously the ins and outs of how to be a head coach. Like I said, this was my first year doing that, so
Hmm.
there's definitely a lot that I had to learn off the court. Um, and I had some great assistants that really stepped up and helped me out a lot. But I think greater than the X's and the O's and all that stuff, I really learned about the importance of relationships, especially with kids. Um, for the basketball kids that I was stepping into. There's been a lot of coaching turnover in the past. I think for the seniors that I had this year, I was their fourth coach in 4 years. So I knew that it was going to be really important for me to earn their trust and to, create relationships with them. And I didn't just want it as you know, earn their trust so we can go out there and win some games. I really wanted to, create lasting relationships with them and have them buy into what I saw that in them that they could do. And all those kids did it. They bought into me. They bought into, what I was preaching, and they didn't have to, but they did it without question. And I know that had they not done that, we wouldn't have seen the success that we had this year. And so I'm, grateful for that. But then also, just getting to know those kids has been a blast. And then, cultivating those relationships along the way, and then the relationships, amongst the staff. I think it was awesome to see all the support in our school and our administration and amongst the coaching staff to see the success that the girls had. I just thought that was really, really special. And so much like a family there at Sinton. So it was great.
Absolutely. And then, of course, your coaching career, I'd say, is fairly young at this point. But when it comes to some important figures in your coaching career, who would you say would be one of some important, impactful figures in your coaching career?
So I've got a few. By far, the most impactful person would be my grandfather, Harley Doggett. He coached girls basketball for 42 years, and all but a handful of them were at Rogers, Texas, where they've since named the gym after him.
Mm-hmm.
He had over 837 wins, so left quite a legacy there.
Wow.
So I grew up, sitting on the bench with him and, just wanting to be around him and the girls. And he passed away in 2014, and so, we miss him tremendously. And definitely this year there were lots of times where I wish I could have, just called him up and picked his brain. But I think the biggest thing that he left me with, besides, binders and binders full of plays and notes from old coaching clinics, were just his legacy of how to serve people well. I think that's super important in this career that we're in. It's more than wins and losses. It's about the relationships that you make with your players. He was a modest man, a very humble man. He didn't say a whole lot, but when he spoke, it meant something. So that's kind of something I'm trying to do. I guess in honor of him is kind of less mindless talking and just more service. So definitely someone that I miss dearly, but he still has a huge impact on what I'm doing every day. And definitely my athletic director, Coach Michael Troutman. He grew up in Sinton, and so it's been really cool in the past year to watch him work back in his hometown. I think he's a great coach. He's been an awesome guy to work for. He truly cares about our kids and about us as a staff, and he's a heck of a motivator. He can get you fired up for just about anything. But he took a chance on me as a young potential head coach, and it's really understandable when you want to hire somebody that has previous experience for a head coaching job. But he took a chance on me, and that's something that I'm gonna forever be grateful for, because I couldn't imagine my life without my Sinton family. So he's been awesome to learn from and to work for.
Mm-hmm. And of course, we're living in some crazy times here. Hopefully we're getting to this tail end of this quarantine pandemic that we're going on right now. Yeah. But I know school's out for most of us. But whenever, of course, it was during in session when this thing was happening. What was the communication process like for the players and the coaching staff?
So we used the Remind 101 app, throughout the season and stuff, and so we utilized that a lot during this time to just kind of send out some, motivational stuff and texting the kids, directly to just check on them and let them know that we're here and, we hate this for them. And then our coordinator did a really great job of organizing some weekly Zoom meetings where all the coaches and all the athletes in the girls program would log on, and we would give them updates as we got them from the UIL. But sometimes it was just to get on to see how they were doing and
Mm-hmm.
kind of see them and hear them, and that was just great too. But just staying connected during this time, I think was important to them.
Mm-hmm. And of course, realignment has come and gone, and it's a little bit tough district. I think one of the toughest districts in the Coastal Bend. I think to look at for y'all. When you first saw the district as a whole in your eyes, what were your thoughts?
Well, I gotta be honest, I wasn't upset to see that Ross down at the legendary Roy Williams wasn't going to be in our district. So that was I was okay with that. They are very well coached by him, and that was a tough matchup for us this past season. Um, yeah, we're still going to have to compete really hard. Beeville was our district champion this past year. West Oso made it to the regional tournament. That was an all-out battle with them each time we played them, and then Rockport. That's always a tough game for us. With them being our district rival, so you never know what you're going to get on that night. But yeah, I think it's going to be tough. But I think we're gonna get after it and see a district championship looks for Sinton this year.
Mm-hmm. Well, Coach, that's all I got for you. We appreciate your time coming on, and appreciate spending your morning with us for a little bit, and hopefully we'll get to see the Sinton Lady Pirates pretty soon.
Yes, you're always welcome down at Sinton. Thanks for having me.